How you doing? Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Thanks for joining me as always. Thanks also for subscribing. If you're new to the channel, you could subscribe. That'd be fantastic. Really want to build this channel up a little bit. We've only been going for 3 months. The whole purpose of this channel was to sort of connect with boxing fans. Just to have it's just basic, you know, us boxing junkies getting together and talking about our addiction. A bit like a sort of boxing AA meeting, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've got 160 subscribers now, so that's brilliant. But if you could spread the word about the channel and subscribe, I'd absolutely love that. And hit the like button on the video if you could as well. That'd be great. All helps. Like I say, I've been, you know, chatting to other boxing fans since I started this channel. Well, before and after. And a lot of the time people ask me questions, and I don't pretend to be any kind of expert. I've followed the sport for more decades than I'm even going to think about, because I might burst into tears if I think about how long it's been. But yeah, but I've got my opinions. People ask me questions, so what I thought I'd do is I'd do another of these videos where I just I've written down a few of these questions. I'll just answer them, and you can agree or disagree. Leave your comments below. So yeah, without further ado, let's have a look at this list of questions. I made a few notes. I forgot to write down who has asked these questions. So if you're one of the people that asked them, thank you for your question. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, do you think Bradley Skeete should have been disqualified against Hamza Shiraz? Yeah, I kind of do actually. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Well, yeah, I do. I think when all is said and done, they were clearly illegal blows. Yeah, no, it was too much. I can understand a sort of clipping a guy when he's on one knee because you didn't realise he's on one knee, but these were full-blooded punches. The only other alternative would be to call it a no contest and have a rematch. But I don't think Skeete deserves to have a defeat on his record because of that. Now, Hamza was putting the heat on Skeete. Poet and didn't know it. He was giving him grief, having been outboxed for the first 6-7 rounds, whatever it was. But I expected the referee to take 2 points off and give Skeete 5 minutes to recover, which he didn't do either. He took a point off and then told Skeete he was get on with it, basically. No, I didn't agree with that at all. I think it should be a no contest. I think the board should do, you know, the decent thing and say that's a no contest and you can fight again. You can't really disqualify a guy retrospectively. I don't think that would be particularly fair because, after all, they say that the general unspoken rule is that, you know, the referee's decision is final. So I don't know. I have mixed opinions, but I think Skeete was hard done by, and yeah, probably it should have been a disqualification. Yeah. Biggest fight of 2021. The biggest fight of 2021 for me, the one that had the most impact on me, because I just did not see it coming. And it's been a year where we've had a lot of upsets. I mean, that Kid Galahad being sparked by Kiko Martinez, that was a shocker. That was a shocker. But the one that for me had everything, I talked about this in a previous video I did, was the Kambosos win over Lopez, which I thought was just priceless. I mean, everything about that fight, I loved it. And including the build-up and Kambosos himself, the way he came out as a real true warrior, you know, speaking with great dignity and great passion, and then going in there as a rank underdog, a guy who travelled thousands of miles to fight a guy in his home country, a guy who was coming off an incredible win over Loma. For Kambosos to do what he did, I thought was remarkable. So that's my favourite fight of 2021. And I would say Kambosos, based on that win alone, is my fighter of the year, even though there are lots of other great performances and you can argue the toss about other fighters. But for me personally, Kambosos, yeah. And that fight was the best. Who do you think is the best female boxer in the world? Savannah Marshall. I thought Chantel Cameron looked good recently. I thought she's improving. But for me, Savannah Marshall is the best the most powerful, the hardest hitting, lovely skills. I rate her very, very highly. I think she beats Shields, Claressa Shields. I think she probably does it by knockout. Difficult thing is, 10 2-minute rounds. Has she got enough time to get her work done? Yeah, maybe. Certainly looks that way, but no, I think she beats Shields. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a knockout, but Shields is no slouch. She's a tough girl, but she don't hit that hard, Shields. She talks, she hits harder with her mouth than she does with her fists. She hasn't scored many knockouts. Savannah really looks like she looks like all that work she's been doing with Peter Fury really is coming together. And she looks like the type of fighter who is, with the repetition, she kind of knows which punches to fire at what time and how to pace herself and to punch through the target with a lot of hurt. I just think she's really improved a great deal. And there are some very, very good female fighters out there at the moment. 2021 for female boxing was really, really good. Some great fights and some very, very good fighters, some improved fighters as well. And big up Eddie Hearn for supporting women's boxing. Fair play, Eddie. Frank Warren, not so much. What else we got down here? Which boxing YouTubers do you follow? I subscribe to lots of different YouTubers. The ones I watch the most, well, I think the first one I ever subscribed to was Boxing Talk with Addy and Ryan. Do you remember that one? That was the first one I really got into. I still watched other YouTubers, bits and pieces, but I really like that dynamic between Ryan and Addy. And Addy, of course, now is flying. He's got his own YouTube channel, thousands of subscribers, does brilliant work at the Zone. I think he's really good on air. I think he's very good pundit. Like him a lot. Other YouTubers, Hatman, I've listened to his stuff for a long, long time. Very, very good. Very, very knowledgeable about the sport. Very objective, which is something I always look for. I'm not interested in fanboys or bias or any of that crap. I like Hatman's videos a lot. They're very good. Boxing Beats and Rhymes. Yeah. Excellent. Very, very knowledgeable guy. Like him a lot. I've never met these guys. I've never even talked to them. But, as far as boxing's concerned, to me, it ain't about the messenger. It's about the message. If you're sending me a good message, if you're making me think about boxing, if you're making me say, hang on a minute, I hadn't thought of that. That's a good sign. I like G-Man, is really, really good. Like his videos a lot. Irish fella, G-Man Boxing. Go over there and subscribe. Very, he used to do these lives, which are really good. I don't think he does them so much anymore, but his videos are good. I like him a lot. Also we got Chris Andre Boxing, very, very good. He's very, very knowledgeable about technical breakdowns, and I'm recommending all these geezers. I mean, they've all got great channels. Chris Andre Boxing. Unrivaled Boxing is good. I think his name is Mark. He's another Irish guy, actually. I think him and G-Man are friends. I think they are. But he's very, very knowledgeable about the history of the sport. Very knowledgeable. I mean, he's done his reading. Who else we got? I'm going to feel bad because I missed good ones out. But I'm sure there are other good ones. There's a lot of incredibly bad ones as well, which I'm not even going to bother with. And I think that's part of the reason I started this channel, because I'd sort of go through the boxing channels, or as many as I could possibly fit into whatever time I had available. And some of them I thought, this guy's got a boxing channel, he ain't got a clue what he's talking about, Anyway, the ones I've mentioned, who else have I missed out? If I think of anyone else, I'll mention it later on. Anyway. Best boxing book? Oh, that's a good question. I do a lot of reading. I like reading a lot. And I've been reading boxing books for, again, oh Christ, I don't know. When did I get my first boxing book? When I was about fucking 10 or something. So that's 44 years ago. Well, I'm a real big fan of biographies. Not so much autobiographies, because I think autobiographies give you a rather slanted view. Autobiographies, they only tell you what they want you to know, and sometimes a biographer won't do that. A biographer will look at it objectively and be very neutral on how they are portraying their subject. So I find a lot of these, particularly the ghost-written autobiographies of boxers, to be a little bit stale, a little bit dry. And I remember reading Chris Eubank's one, Nigel Benn's one. One that I did like was Teddy Atlas's book. I think it's called something like Atlas from a Man to a Boy, something like that. I read that like 20 years ago, whenever it came out. That was a good one. I like that one a lot. Because Atlas is a straight talker, and he's not really interested in bullshit. You know, he'll tell you what he thinks. What else is there? Oh, actually, I must mention this one. Right, if you know a little bit about boxing history, you will know about the Murderers Row guys. The 8 fighters, 8 middleweights from the 1940s. You're going to ask me to name them all now, aren't you? I can't name them all. Charlie Burley's the most obvious one. Lloyd Marshall, Holman Williams, oh, fuck. Burt Lytell, Eddie Booker, I missed out, Aaron Wade. Anyway, is that 6, 7, 8? Anyway, there's these 8 geezers, 8 black fighters called the Murderers Row lot from the 1940s. And they were all brilliant fighters. They were, I mean, but they were black, and there was a tremendous amount of racism. And so what they ended up doing was they ended up fighting each other. I think they fought each other about 60 times, 65 times or something like that. And they also beat other people, like Burley, I think, beat was it Burley, and Holman Williams beat Archie Moore? Was it Eddie Booker beat Archie Moore? I know Burley beat Fritzy Zivic, Billy Sues. Yeah. Anyway, my mind's drifting off here. There's a book, getting back to the subject of books, there was a book about these 8 guys, and it is called Murderers Row, and Boxing's Greatest Outcast, or Boxing's Great Outcast, something like that. And it tells the story of these guys. That's a really good book. I like that book, because I like that subject a lot. You know, Murderers Row a lot. Yeah, great fighters. Going way back, because I predate the internet and BoxRec and all that jazz, when I was a kid, you used to get the British Boxing Board of Control yearbook. I think Lonsdale sponsored it, if memory serves, and every year I'd get that for Christmas as a kid. And I'd love it, because I'd spend hours and hours and hours going through all the different champions, through all the different eras, the different weights, and then they'd have like an update of people's records, and it was like it wasn't BoxRec, BoxRec's got thousands of records on it. But you know, it was. By the way, if you can hear some fireworks going, I'm not doing this video in the middle of Beirut. Those are fireworks. Hey, New Year and all that business. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, British Boxing yearbook. I used to love those books. And then of course the internet came along and they became sort of redundant, but I've still got them knocking around somewhere from like 40 years ago, whatever. Those are good books. I'm reading one at the moment. It's sort of boxing related. Nicola Tallant's book on, it's called Clash of the Clans, about Kinahan and the Hutch feud. You know about Daniel Kinahan, obviously, on good terms with Tyson Fury and a few others, and MTK and that whole thing. Well, this is about the drug situation, cartels, whatever they are in Ireland, and the feud that went on between these two warring factions, the Hutches and the Kinahans. So that's an interesting book, sort of boxing related, relevant to boxing anyway. So that's just a few books, but there are so many. There are so many. What else we got here? Who do you think will win the third Estrada Chocolatito fight? Well, I have to say, first of all, I thought Chocolatito edged the second fight and should be 2-0 up instead of 1-1. But No knock on Estrada. Estrada's good. Estrada's good fighter. Very, very, very good fighter. I think he handed Carlos Cuadras his only stoppage defeat. I think he's beat him twice, and he stopped him in the 11th round. Then a few years previous, or a year or two previous, he stopped. No, he didn't. He won on points the first fight. Stopped him in the 11th round. So to get stopped for Estrada to stop him was an achievement. I like these little guys. I like the fact they fight each other relatively regularly, and there's so much talent, and they're always exciting fights. Lots of punches thrown. I've never ever understood why the lightweight fighters aren't promoted more, bigger stars. Yeah, the heavyweights have their appeal. Watching bantams and flies and heavyweights, it's almost like two different sports, isn't it? Two different disciplines, because they're so different in style, but. Yeah, I like the little guys a lot. I think, who will win the third fight? Estrada and Chocolatito. I think Chocolatito. Depends what he's got left, doesn't it? Chocolatito. These little guys tend to get old overnight. Like McRoyo or William. What's his name? McWilliams Arroyo. What the fuck's his name? McWilliams. Whatever the fuck his name is. I've forgotten his bloody name. He got old overnight recently when he fought Martinez, because he looked. I don't know. Estrada and Chocolatito. Who wins the third fight? I have to do a video about this. Don't even know. It's a difficult one. That. It's a coin toss. I can't think of it. I honestly can't. I can't decide. I'll have to think about that one. So yeah, I'm sitting on the fence. Splinters in the bum time on that one. What else we got here? What do you think of Conor Benn? Yeah, much improved. Okay, I know See, I think he's been matched very well. I know there is the question mark over his chin because he's been matched with non-punchers, but I don't mind that. I think the progression of a fighter, getting him to fight different styles, guys who are tall, shortish. Yeah, I think when you consider the first Cedric Peno fight, and he seemed like a very immature kid then, you know, sitting in a bloody hairdresser's chair having his hair dyed the day before the fight or some nonsense like that. No wonder he got bounced off the canvas a couple of times by Peno. But then maybe that was his wake-up call. Now he's married man, he's got a kiddie. Maybe he's matured, and there's plenty to be said for being mature. Do not live your life in an infantile way, especially if you're not an infant. That would be my advice to all you younger people. But I think he's much improved. Wouldn't put him in with Boots Ennis or Crawford, obviously. I don't think he's going to get. I think he's maximising his talent. Let's put it that way. And I think he could pick up a belt if he's matched right. You know, I don't think he'll ever be an A+ fighter, but I think he can get up to A- level, that sort of level, you know. Yeah, I like Conor Benn, and I was a massive, massive fan of his father. I followed his father from start to finish of his career, saw him fight and everything. And my all-time favourite fight is Gerald McClellan against Nigel Benn. I had money on Benn getting chinned in the first round, and I almost won money, but no, he got up and. That was a Rocky story. Jesus Christ, what a fight that was. Tragic ending, but let's not pretend that wasn't a masterful, magnificent fight. And an incredible performance by Benn. Tragic ending, but there we go. Have we got anything else down here? Best fighter to never win a title? Well, being English, I suppose the obvious two choices are Harold Graham and Kirkland Lang spring to mind immediately. Oh, if you want to talk about best fighters to never win title of any, I mean, Murderers Row lot. Charlie Burley. Eddie Foote said Charlie Burley was the best fighter he'd ever seen, including Ray Robinson. And he also said Holman Williams was brilliant as well. He rated those guys very, very highly. Was it Holman Williams did he share a gym with Joe Lewis? I can't remember. One of them did. Might not have been Williams, but anyway, those guys were brilliant. A little bit after that, jump forward 30 years from the 40s, you come to the 70s. Benny Briscoe was a really tough guy. Yeah. Monzon said he was the toughest guy he ever faced, Benny Briscoe. When he was on the downside of his career, Hagler outpointed him. But he was a tough bastard, Benny Briscoe. There's loads of them in there who've never won. You know, and there's people who won titles who you just don't rate that highly. No one's telling me that Broner is a 4-weight world champion. Get the fuck out of here with that. That's nonsense. It's how you're matched. As is true in life, it's not, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. It can also be true that you get what you navigate. You see, if you navigate your way to the title, you can get one. But no. Anything else down here? Who do I think wins out of Okolie and Bradis? Okolie's been looking good lately. Does he beat Bradis? See, I don't like these predictions because very often someone will say, who do you think wins this fight? Like with Estrada, Chocolatito, you know, Okolie, Bradis. I say, well, I think so-and-so will win. And I go away and I think, actually, no, I don't. I'm wrong. I don't know. I lean towards Bradis, but 60-40 Bradis. Yeah, but Okolie's been looking very good. I like Okolie a lot. Much improved. Much improved. Like Ben. You see, hard work gets you places. You know. I think that's just about it for now. Anyway. Oh, blimey, I've been on for 20 minutes. That's more than enough. So, yeah. Thanks for your time, as always. If you've got any more questions you want to ask me, feel free, mate. Lads, I mean, lassies, whatever you are. Whoever's watching this video, ask me questions if you want. I'll answer them. I'm happy to. But, yeah, thank you for your time. Subscribe if you've not subscribed already. Like the video. Share the video. Hate the video. Cuddle the video. I don't really mind. But thank you for your time. I'll see you again sometime soon. Be good. Take care.